welcome to 1111 Crime. No, 1111 True Crime. I'm still on serious cough medicine. I hope you are all well. It's wonderful to be back over in the Jay Slater case. We have a new moderator. It is a live broadcast over here. We're going to be talking about Jay Slater, right? Some news. Finally, something to talk about. Not sure if you're going to like the news. I got to talk to you a little bit about something in the Jay Slater case. I've been gone a week from Jay Slater case. I've been sick 5 of those days. But it gives you a new perspective to step away a minute and come back in. And that's what I have, is a new perspective and new hope. There's information about investigations going on, and it's good news. It's good news. Hello, Debbie Gazzardo. So we have a new moderator named Zoe, and I'm really excited and happy to have her on board, and I want to thank her for modding today. We have Rach, Not That Rach, Debbie Gazzardo, Jennifer Swain, and let's see, is Az here or Jennyville? I'm not seeing them yet, but you never know. They might jump on. So thank you humbly to all my mods for modding. Hey, Sharon J. Zaxxon. OMG, you guys. Before we get rolling, I got to get chat on the board. Hold the phone. Do you see that? Let's make it big. I've never dreamed anybody would do such, so thank you. Thank you, Zaxxon, too, for the support of our channel, for our members, and for everybody to be able to enjoy some gifts. And that is something that is so kind of you and generous that all I can say is thank you from the bottom of my heart. And that's not all you've done. You've given over 100 memberships in like 2 weeks. It's blown our minds. And it's timed so wonderful because we literally are also doing our true crime radio at the same time for our Starlight members. And that's exploding. It's just a wonderful place where we can get together, and you might be gifted. You just never know. Make sure gifting's on. We get together, we talk some true crime and other things, and I build your fairy tale dream world in Minecraft. So we just built the house for Debbie Gazzardo, one of our mods. We've already done Jennifer Swain. We've done Rach, Not That Rach's home. And tonight we're going to be putting the decorations inside Debbie's home. And we build them from scratch, so it's quite beautiful. They get their input. And we're going to be working our way to also share that with our members as well, where they can pick their colors and I build their home. Enough about that. I am self-sponsored, so I'm going to toot my own advertisement here, which is our second channel. So we're going to be pulling some cards in the Jay Slater case, and it's going to be on the last hours. I just need to see the energies wrapped around and what the cards say. So we'll be doing that on the second channel. It is called 1111 Crime Story. You can do the time warp and click the thumbnail after this live. So Wax Unfiltered just released. I watched a very good program. Make sure and check that out after this. And also Duncan Smith's been working hard on this case. Let's get into this. 3 blind mice. I gotta get my slippers off. Right? We're gonna dig in a little bit on the Jay Slater case. Hey, Tricky Nikki. Good to see you. Gail Cashin. Nikki UK. I love that we have a live audience, and it's great because they're interactive and they're very intelligent and they offer a lot of info back. So I don't have a big PowerPoint to show you or anything like that. I just want to talk to you about something. So we're going to do a little role play. I did this over in the Idaho 4 case. It worked great. We're going to do it today. We're going to role play. That's the best way to understand a perspective for me and to get my point across in this scenario. So you are at work. You are the owner of the company. You have 10 employees. The key to the men's bathroom was there at the start of the shift. It's now missing. All right? So you go get everybody to search for the keys, and nobody can find the keys. Nobody is finding the keys. None of the 10. So you hire some experts. They come in and they go over the place like a fine-tooth comb and cannot find the keys. Well, there's a knock on the door and this customer's like, I heard you're looking for keys. And you're like, yeah. How'd you know we're looking for keys? Well, the word got out. Oh, okay, come on in, come on in. Well, I'm not a searcher regularly. Actually, I work for the construction company. Yeah, it's just down the road. But I felt so bad for everybody here having to go to the bathroom and having to use one little bathroom that you have open. I thought I'd come help find the keys. And so I need to understand where you've all looked. Okay. So you take the man and you explain everywhere you've looked, and he goes away and he comes back with a friend. We'll call him Chris and Leggy. And you're like, okay, when they come back and nobody's found the keys, and it's getting on the point where everybody's got to go to the bathroom. Either you're going to have to let the employees go, something's got to give because you got to go to the bathroom. Okay. Now, you've hired a new cleaning lady, but she don't know what the keys look like. And there's a giant rubber ducky attached to these keys. A quack quack. All right, so she says, now she doesn't speak English, so you're guessing, but she says she's seen the keys, but they're on the opposite end of the building than they should be. And you say to her, can you describe the keys? And she's like, no. So you don't know if she saw the keys or just somebody's keys. She saw some keys. Is it worth following everything and basing everything? We have nothing left, right? So this guy with his friend, this customer, he's like, there's only one place left to look. Keys are in the rafters. And you're like, somebody'd have to get a ladder to take the keys and put them in the rafter. And he's like, well, I'm just saying, it's a man trap. You gotta go up there. You gotta go all the way to the other end of the building where that cleaning lady said she saw keys, and go look at the rafters because that's where the keys are. I guarantee it. And you're like, in the rafters? The keys are in the rafters? And you can guarantee it. How do you know the keys are in the rafter? That's your first question, right? How would you know that? And the answer is, well, that's the only place you haven't looked. You're like, okay. So you go look, and there are the keys. Now you're perplexed. Was this a kind, good Samaritan that's just smart and boils it down to the narrative being that there's no other place to look, so the keys have to be in the rafters? And how did the keys get in the rafters? Did a mouse take them up there? Did you have an employee sabotage everyone? Did this guy have something to do with it? It just perplexes you, right? But what's even more complexing is, how would have anybody have thought to look in the rafters in the first place? It'd be like going back and asking the searchers, did you put the keys on the rafters? And the searchers that you hired are like, no, we don't know. We didn't know where it was. If we had put the keys there, we would know where they were. So in other words, it just is such a bizarre thing. And if anybody that's searching were to know how the keys got into the rafters, literally know, then they were there and they put the keys in the rafter and they have knowledge, or they were with somebody putting the keys in the rafter. So my point is, They're only searchers. They don't know nothing. They know nothing, or they know it all. They know nothing, and therefore they cannot continue on to push any narrative as to how it got there. They cannot go out and say, a mouse put the keys on the hook on the rafter. They can't do that. They can't sell that narrative because they don't know. If they do know, they're guilty. So how can they themselves go out and tell any of the searchers or any of the employees or you or anybody else what the actual narrative was? Because you were either there and you know, or you absolutely do not know because you do not know you were not there. It's that simple. You're either know, or you know, you don't. Which is it? Now, what's interesting is all of true crime, we're saying we don't know. But isn't it interesting who says they do know? Pay close attention. Even Ahab says he don't know. For all he knows, somebody could have pushed Jay off the cliff. That's the correct answer. That's the one time I can give Ahab a gold star. Because if you can draw a conclusion, not a theory, not an educated guess, but draw a conclusion that you will take a hard stand on and use the words that you know, then we're back into if you know, you're guilty, and if you don't, you're innocent. And so if it's just a searcher and he's still trying to preach that he knows, I hope the Inquisition pays close attention to those that are barking the loudest that they know, guarantee what happened to Jay, especially if they're the ones that suggested the keys were in the rafters in the first place. Maybe it's cough syrup. Maybe you didn't follow that. But I'm just saying, how do you know? Because you don't unless you're guilty. So when Chris or Lucky or Mark or any of them, DTR, anybody ever makes a claim that they know what happened to Jay, they're full of shite unless they were there. You can talk to everybody in the world, Mark. We've listened to the interviews, the one with Lucy's back of her head. It was 8:30. That does not tell us the story of what really happened to Jay. It tells us a story. And that's all it is. So go ahead and save up all your little snippets and your little clips and your little interviews and get your little clicks and your little views while you dangle the carrot even a little bit further for part 2, Mark William Thomas. I, on the other hand, will not promote your slop because you incited, you hypocritical. In my opinion, you are a hypocrite. You incite that Jay is running for his life because he is fearful. With 2 knives. You tell the whole world this. You're an ex-detective. You're supposed to know this kind of stuff before you say it. You get the family riled up. They even admitted it. But now you feel the time is right to share the truth. How interesting. Mark, you're not God. You're not going to control the truth and the timing of the truth with Jay Slater. I assure you that. Because you don't hold the truth. You hold the lies. All the lies you've collected that the friends have shared. Which will give us a great deal of work to sort out, to try to figure out how and what parts are true and what parts aren't. But you certainly don't hold the truth. So I don't think you should sell it as truth. I think she should be honest. You're working on fiction there, boy. Just saying, homeboy. You're a fictional writer because you're basing it on these eyewitnesses that are friends that are telling you that the snap that Brad has is from Jay, but it doesn't say me. It says Jay. See, you're dumb enough to believe it. We're not. And, you know, Luggy, when I was praying for Jay, you went and took and answered that prayer, Lord Luggy, and made a little video that got 6 views. I want you to know that my Heavenly Father will look heavenly down on you and judge you for that. I won't. I was actually praying from my heart. And I am very spiritual, and I take extreme offense to you mocking my prayer for Jay Slater. I'm just letting heaven deal with you. As far as Benji, the dog that keeps jumping in on my lives with this little, Benji's got a new podcast. Really? You think you're going to make it? You think all the viewers don't look at you and go, how effing pathetic? I mean, let's take some truth serum here. The family has the right to tell Jay's story. If anybody has a right to tell Jay's story, it is the family. And that's that. I have nothing negative to say about the family sharing what they've gone through. I don't care if they make money or not. That's not my business. I'm grateful that they have a voice to speak with. If Zach needs to get something off his chest, so be it. Same with Warren and same with Debbie. I have a problem when we have this guy named MWT, and in my opinion, he's dangled a damn carrot in front of our face so long, but he knows nothing. Nothing. We've got this bully team that thinks that they can act all puffed up when they don't look like anything but the Michelin Man. A big puff state full of hot air, oversized marshmallow, who gets drunk and threatens and is all like, you don't know who my daddy is. Well, guess what? You don't know who my father is either. My father is from heaven above. I work for God. So who the heck is going to fire me? You ain't. You ain't going to knock us off nothing. I ain't even playing today. I have enough cold syrup in me that it's like I'm liquored up, because I took a whole NyQuil tablet last night, 2 of them, and I still ain't feeling like it wore off. But I'll tell you what about the Jay Slater case. He sure the hell didn't walk off no mountain. That never happened in broad daylight in front of everybody, because where's everybody that saw this? He didn't just teleport from the little La Casa, little cabin, and just poof, I'm in the middle of the mountains. No, we're talking a boy in shorts. In shorts. Chris is in pants. I'm all tore up. Right? This kid's in shorts. Chris gone maybe 10 feet and he got pricked by one cactus. He's like, I'm shredded. Jay's in shorts. Dude. He didn't make it that far. Never would have happened. Never. So you knowing that the keys are hanging in the rafters is super effing suspicious, backed up by a proven fact that psychos tend to hang around the case and often participate in searching for the victim. Now, if you don't know what happened to Jay, which would be normal for a searcher, if you weren't chanting it from the rooftops that you know what happened to Jay and how he got down there and his guaranteed bag of bones, you wouldn't always be put on the hot seat. but you keep putting your foot in your damn mouth because you know. And see, the thing is you don't know shite. Just because you found the keys doesn't mean you know how they got there. You may have a theory, an educated guess, but if you say you know, then you know. So be careful, because an inquest is coming, and they've been watching. And though you can drunk delete, you might be surprised who stays up late and watches and records it and sends it into the people that do the inquest. I don't know. Could be somebody you watched. All right. So, my suggestion is I will be watching and supporting the family to express. We've all had our shot, right? We've all vented on Jay. Not on Jay, but on Jay's case. We've all had our suspicions. We've all had time to fully express ourselves in every way. I welcome the opportunity and embrace the opportunity and listen to the family. I truly do. But I'm boycotting the others. I just am on my own. I am not going to watch it. Now, your choice is yours. I'm not here to influence you. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Will I watch it, though? I'll watch it. Never mind. I can't. You know why? Because I'll need to debunk the lies. I'll need to debunk the lies, because that's all it is. It's just going to be like, here's another interview with Ahab. Okay, let's do that. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, mod. What? No. Maybe. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so I saw that interview. Let's see. Here's one with Brad. I just got to the rave. Like I said, I told Isa everything. I don't know. I don't know. He had my card. I don't know. I mean, that's all you got, Mark. That's all you got coming. Because if you had more, you wouldn't be able to release it because it would be part of the investigation. So it can't be important, or you wouldn't be able to release it. So y'all have no clue. None of you got no damn clue. And if you do have a clue, you damn sure be best work with the authorities. Because there ain't no room on YouTube for no, oh, I got evidence and I'm gonna get clicks and views for it. Kiss my butt. You get that evidence to the proper authorities and you get working on getting the truth for justice for Jay. So there's gonna be no, oh, wow moment in the Jay Slater case unless it comes from the Inquisition. I'm just saying. And yeah, I'd love to breathe life back into the Jay Slater case. Unfortunately, the only thing that we can do is pray that the Jay Slater case actually has a full inquisition, a full investigation, and that we get some truth out of it all. I mean, start with the phones, right? You know, in the Delphi, Indiana case, over here in America, the phone was found beneath one of the victims. And because it's an Apple phone or an iPhone, even back in 2017, they can track the movement of the actual phone by feet, up, down, sideways, every single thing. And they have. And they know that the elevation dropped by 20 feet within a minute. So they know that that is when these two 13 and 14-year-old little girls did that fateful, horrific trip down the hill. So keep that in mind when you're sitting here preaching to us that you know that Jay Slater took the path of least resistance in shorts on a volcanic mountain through cactuses that would just kill a man in shorts for what, 10 miles? And then fell to his death and managed to then, after a 500-foot fall, crawl 20 meters out from there to be found 29 days later. Believable? I feel like, who did that Believe It or Not show? Right? Believe it or not. Hey, Lizzie V. Their phones will tell all investigators should have started there and been thorough. Amen. You get the goat. Where'd our goat go? Oh. Thought he was broke. You get a gold star. Lizzie V, you get a gold star. Isa said, also, Mama D had Duncan check the info I sent you about the link between Christy. Okay. Same circles as Vegas Atanda. So, if you go back to the keys being lost, and I told you you're the owner of the store and that you basically allowed a volunteer into your building after experts had looked, but the volunteer was able to find it, but your experts, your 10 experts weren't. Already it makes you wonder how the stranger knew. But then for that stranger to hang around after the keys have been found, and every time you go to have a meeting about with your employees to try to find out what you think happened, this guy that had suggested the keys were in the rafters oversteps you and says to everybody, the mouse did it. For the love of God, the mouse did it. And you can't even have a conversation to discuss another way. At some point, every single person is going to shut their mouth and look directly at the guy and go, what in the absolute hell is wrong with you? All eyes on you. Because there's something very wrong with that. He found the keys. Good job. Move along. Nothing to see here. Remember, he's not an investigator. He's not even a searcher. Remember, I told you, this guy does construction a block or two away from you. So why is he coming into your meetings, your staff meetings, trying to figure out how the keys got up there, how to prevent it from happening again, and overtaking the conversation and trying to brainwash this mouse narrative and play it small when you need to know how the hell the keys got in the damn rafter of your building? And at some point, there has to be a point where everybody just sits back when the guy comes in to make a statement and look at him when everybody knows there's more to the story, or he wouldn't be coming over here every damn time to interrupt your staff meetings to assure that the narrative stuck. So what is the damn agenda? Linda thought the phone had been wiped. Why would a child that's going off a cliff, at what point does he wipe his phone? Did he wipe his phone? Like right before Lucy, or right after Lucy called? Was he like, oh, damn, I'm almost out of battery. How do you wipe your phone if you're out of battery? I'll tell you, you cannot factory reset your phone, which is wiping your phone, if you're out of battery. You can't do it. It'll literally tell you, you need over such and such % to factory reset. And it's a big deal to factory reset, which is wiping the phone. Face it. So who factory reset a victim's phone that just accidentally fell? Huh, Chris? Can you answer that? Who factory reset Jay's phone? If it's just an accident, oops, the boy just didn't know what was going on, so he just wandered off in the middle of the bright sunshine and in the middle of the day amongst all the tourists, and he was like, all right, see you guys, I'm leaving civilization. I know I should take water. I know I have no battery. I have no idea why, but I'm just going to go off into the mountainous where all the cactuses are, and I am going to put on shorts, and I am just going to make it as far as I can, and on the way before I fall off this cliff at 500 feet drop, I need to factory reset my phone. Yeah, that's believable. See, sarcasm has a way of really sounding stupid. But that's what you're trying to sell us and then get mad at us because they're like, you're full of shite. Whoever had Jay's phone wiped it, Laura. But if it's an accident, like Chris is saying, and like Mark is saying, who would have factory reset a phone during an accident? The fact that the phone is factory reset, that it's been wiped, that alone should tell us that there's some sort of interference, that is not just a random walk off the cliff. Fuzzy Dare, I think you're onto something with the pay-per-views theory. Was it supposed to be Fight Club? Right? And it went wrong. Somebody got knocked out. I don't know. But to try to bully everybody online that wants to work through how the keys got in the rafter, that's our prerogative. That is our choice. That is actually our right to do so in America, is to speculate. That's one of my God-given rights from where I'm from. It's part of my citizenship. And by golly, you're not going to step on it. So that's a personal thought, that I have the right to express my opinion. And my opinion is that you're full of shite when you try to sell me the stupid-ass narrative and everybody else's narrative, Mark, Chris, Luggy, that Jay walked off the damn cliff. This is the God honest truth. I have more respect for Ahab out of the four of you on this matter, because Ahab has never told us. He's never suggested that this is fact. He says the truth, in which is expected. He's either very smart or very honest. I don't know which. But that is, I don't know. I don't know what could have happened. Because that's the natural thing of somebody that doesn't know. Because unless you were there, you don't know. I've heard of that white collar boxing on Saturday the 15th. I've heard of that. Crime time solved. Bam, bam. The clothes was on him. Spanish police cleared that up. Says it was Aaron Wording. They found Jay with his clothes on, but his possessions was nearby to where he was. Thank you, dear. Hey, Mark Mullen. But if you reset the phone, Police Scott Yard or anyone has technology could get it back, but only if they wanted to. Correct? Electric paramedic. Good point, Mama D. So, if you want to truly understand the Jay Slater case and why Chris is a thorn in this case, it's because he's the construction worker that popped in and he didn't leave it at just suggesting that it's the last place you haven't looked. You might as well look there. If you can't find it anywhere else, you're going to find the keys over here. Okay, fine. Pat on the back. Great job. Keys were there. Thank you, sir. Have a good damn day. Anything else? Oh, and here's your hat. Are you leaving? so soon. Bye-bye now. Because if you stay on, Columbo is going to look at you, right? Remember, he had that cigar he'd smoke? Let me get a sip. He'd be like, oh, one more thing. So you said that the body, how did you say it? Oh yeah, you guaranteed it was a bag of bones at the bottom of the cliff. Yeah. How did you come up with that? Right? See, it starts getting to that level to where the inspector there is starting to get suspicious why the searcher is still hanging out when the job is done. Especially, says, crime time solved, when they know public think there's wrongdoing, so they say what they said was very foolish. I'm just saying, they do protest too much. I'd just say so myself. Hey, Debbie Fox, Angela Poole, Allison H. Good to see you. Isla said he must get smokes from Potter Paper's Paraphernalia Palace. Liz says Jose Luis Navarra, or whatever his name is, he has been mentioned in the case was fighting. Well, we know there was a fight at Papagayo's on Sunday night, right out front. Hey, Katie Toohey, I think these people have put themselves into the spotlight. I think you're right. You go on to say they could have conducted their search anonymously. They were the ones making videos and forcing themselves into the limelight. I mean, if you're going to go through and do videos about how hot and horrible the weather is and how you've been searching all damn day in the heat in the mountains, at least when you film and you put your arms up, if you haven't been, get some water or something and make it look like sweat rings. At least give us the common decency of trying to fake us out. Put some water, like at least you could have been like, Luggy, take that bottle and spray me with water so at least I look like I've been sweating. You know we've been in the RV, in the air conditioning for 10 hours. Hey, so exactly, Mama D. It's the continued involvement that raises a huge red flags. It's not just the continued involvement. It's the bullying of every staff meeting when you're trying to work out how the keys got in the rafter and you have the searcher showing up, screaming at everybody and threatening the place and acting like a 2-year-old throwing a tantrum going, the mouse did it, the mouse did it, and if you don't believe me, I'm going to take action. Hold on, let me get my daddy. Yeah, if you don't take it, my son is number one. I got 2 of them. They're number one. I love my son. Don't mess with my son. Whoops, we got to delete it all. That's how shit looked. You got this guy over here that's losing his shit going, we're getting me number one, you number 2, right? And then he's like, oh, I better take that down before I get in trouble. Then you got the whole John George family getting angry and taking action, which we all know. We now have a new Duncan named Timmy Dunks, right? Check out his channel. Very good channel. Honorable man. Okay? And you got this potato head over here, and that's what he is a giant spud head going, yeah, this is a good day. Managed to get that channel down, and so I told you it was going to happen. Got rid of 1, now we're working on 2. Best thing ever happened is when you reported me. And everybody's like, so you think you did that? You get the biggest dunce hat I've ever seen in my life. Yet absolutely nothing to do with it in the first place, and we all know it. You've got 3 views. Who's your army? What, you got the Luggy? You're gonna drag Sluggy along and call that your army? You guys are a bunch of psyops. That's all you are. I'm telling you, I get sick of them. Steve the Cockney, hi, how you doing? Bam says, I didn't understand it used to mean something when British citizen died in suspicious circumstances. You get it. You get it. I'm sick of their little tantrums. What is in my cough syrup? Okay, I'm going to tell you what I took. So last night, I'm like, I can't not have another night of sleep. And I did not take medicine. I am a holistic human. I literally will just start chugging water and cranberry juice and apple cider vinegar and pray. Meditate and sweat it out. So last night, I took 2 ginormous Nye, and I gotta be careful, Quill, right? Holy cow. At 11 o'clock this morning, my son was like, Mom, you gotta get up. Are you okay? I'm a 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock kind of morning gal. I got up and I couldn't even open both eyes. Like one was still like shut. And I'm like, OMG, that medicine. What has it done? I gotta drive. My glasses, right? I was like, I gotta drive. Of course, ocean deep, we see right through him. But the question is, why does the construction worker want to get into the staff meetings in the first place now? See how the suspicion has turned as to how the keys got up there and why this random dude, even after the experts couldn't find the keys, this one random dude that doesn't even nothing, he just shows up and tells you the keys are in the rafter, and they were. And that's sus enough, but now he wants to hang around and make sure that you are fully on board with the only idea. The only answer is that the mouse put the keys in the rafters. Linda says, Jay Slater and George family night and day. I know what family I would want behind me. Hey, Jake Green, why give them the time of day? They live rent-free in some people's head. Because I needed to clear it. I needed to clear it. I needed to make sure, and they're not living rent-free in my head. They're jumping on my channel. They're interfering with me doing my staff meetings. So I'm going to call it out one time only. And I am letting that person know that it's highly probable, likely, that I may have the footage of the I'll get rid of 1 and then I'll get rid of 2 footage. May have that. May have turned it in. So that person needs to be very, very careful with how they talk. Words matter, especially during a homicide investigation potential and a potential of trying to find out if there's foul play, and then you have somebody that was a searcher that is potentially threatening others into not falling into the line of the narrative that this potential searcher wants us to believe in. I bet they do find that interesting. Makes them wonder, why does this guy care so much? I mean, the family didn't even say, hey, thank you for what you're doing. Hell, this guy cares so much he didn't even go to the funeral. Lucky did. Lucky went to the funeral. Remember, he said that the Guardia Civil lied. He got caught on camera saying that to the family. That at Jay Slater's funeral, Lucky, talk about disrespecting the family. Lucky is caught on camera, on video, of his voice, allegedly, stating that the Guardia Avocado Civils lied to the family about the death of their son at the son's funeral. And he wants to hypocritically tell me I'm offending the family. You go, girl. Go. I says, strange, the gym that Chris Tenerife goes to is only 3 streets away from Papagayo Sugar Reef 2. The only gym that Chris is able to go to is going to sell donuts. Bad gambler, he seems so aggressive all the time and argumentative. Bam, bam. All right, you guys, this is where we're going to get ready to switch the tables, and you get to tell me your views. I've said enough. We're going to get over, and we're going to do the time warp. Well, actually, today, I guess I kind of storied. You're not going to get to tell me your views. That's what we normally do, is where family then comes back as true crimers, and you tell me over on the other channel. But today, we're on part 4, and we're pulling cards. And God knows above in heaven that I am fully intent and on board with understanding the truth of the last hours of Jay. All I want to know is what is shared. There will be nothing graphic. It will simply tell me of the energies. I will make sure that it is not triggering per se. I do not do that. But I need to understand the energies that are around him. It will not give me a name. It will not say I am at all. That is up to each individual to discern. I am not here to accuse anyone. But if you are going to pull cards with me, we need to get on it, like right now. So, my lovelies, let's go ahead, get our music going. I will see you again soon. And also, we have our meeting today on TC Radio for our Starlights. And we have a great deal of Starlights. Thank you again, Zaxxon, so incredibly much for the 20 members today and all the members you've given. And let's get rolling. Let's see, did I do this right? We never start off with it going right.